What's going on, guys? This is Ray, also known as Meatloaf Man, and this entire video is going to be completely unscripted. Uh, but I felt like it would probably be better to just film this as a video as opposed to making a tweet thread with multiple tweets with like just whole walls of text describing how I feel about each matchup and then just trying to like continuously type my viewpoints across each line. But regardless of the fact, uh, we now have all of the death battles that are going to be part of the Champions Bowl that is currently being held over on the Death Battle Discord server. And as mentioned on the Fireside chat about a week or so ago, as was just announced, originally this was just going to be one poll, but now we have both 2D matches and then 3D matches. So now there's two different polls, so we can vote on one of each from either side to potentially become an episode next season. So we finally have a finalized list here after the moderators and members of the team have discussed behind the scenes what are the more popular matches that people want to see. So I'm going to give my thoughts on each of these. To be quite honest with you, I'm not sure what match I would want to vote for yet from either side. But I feel like giving out my thoughts because I did mention yesterday on Twitter that I would be talking about this later. This list came out while I was at work, so I wasn't really able to just talk about it on the spot because, there's a lot of matches here, there's a lot to discuss. So I'm going to make this quick. So let's start with the 2D's poll. So 2D Champions poll. So first off, we have Captain America versus Kamen Rider Ichigo. By the way, full disclosure, I don't know how to pronounce certain names that are going to be on here. At least maybe I won't know how to pronounce them. So if I do say them wrong, apologies. I'm not familiar with like every piece of fiction out there. But first off, we have Captain America versus Kamen Rider Ichigo. This was a community death battle on the Death Battle cast a few weeks ago. And this is an idea that I've just always seen around in general. Honestly, Captain America is long overdue for a return appearance on the show, and I feel like Kamen Rider, just as a franchise, has also been something that is long overdue for a proper appearance on Death Battle. Would be really cool to see like just Captain America come back and just seeing like Kamen Rider Ichigo coming in and just seeing both of these guys fight. And obviously with like it being in 2D, I know like they're probably not going to slack on those Kamen Rider sprites, so this is going to be something that looks really good. Probably even like obviously he's going to look way better than like Batman versus Captain America from way back in the day. But this would be really cool. Again, like Captain America needs a run back, and Kamen Rider Ichigo, we need him on the show at some point. Just Kamen Rider in general, Super Sentai as well. So far, it's only just been Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, so it would be really cool to just get more representation in there from like that genre. But I don't have any stakes on who I would want to win. I'm good with like honestly either of these guys winning. Kamen Rider Ichigo looks like a really cool dude. I think if I'm not mistaken, this is the dude that like the Sega de Sanshiro actor plays. I might be wrong on that front, but otherwise, yeah, this would be really cool to see. So yeah, moving on, we have Among Us versus Fall Guys. Undoubtedly one of the more surprising entries on here, but there is like reason for it having a presence here because obviously recently a good friend of mine, Larry Winwood, made like a fan animation of Among Us versus Fall Guys, which was really good. You guys should go check that out on his Twitter account. And it was so good that they showcased it on the Fireside chat the other day with his permission. And so now it's a legit idea that they actually want to look into possibly next season. So I don't know, like between Captain America versus Kamen Rider Ichigo and Among Us versus Fall Guys, this is something that like that I might consider between the two because both of are matches I really would like to see. But yeah, I wouldn't mind. That would be like a really funny episode. I think it would just be really funny if like Among Us versus Fall Guys of all things just wins over like all these other matches that people really want. Anyways, we have Kyle Rayner versus Simone the Digger, DC versus Tegan Talpa Gurren Lagann. Simone is a character that I'm pretty sure people have been wanting to see for like a really long time, and you know I don't have any problems with Kyle Rayner. I think he's probably one of the cooler Green Lanterns in my opinion. So you know I know this is like a really popular matchup. So you know if this one happens, like I feel like even if it doesn't win the poll, it's probably gonna happen at some point, especially now that it's officially just solidified on Death Battle's radar. So if we don't get it now, we'll probably still get it later anyway. But even so, this is a good matchup I would not mind seeing in the future. No doubt it'll probably be like either like a season finale or like something of the sort. If not like a penultimate episode maybe. But as a 2D fight though, very appropriate because like this is just the type of like genre to have that fight in. Ori versus the Knight. This is a very unique pick. It's definitely one I've seen before, but I definitely wouldn't mind seeing it on the show. I really don't have like a stake or much to say on this. I haven't played either game. I would like to at some point. But yeah, it's just a really good idea for a match. I don't mind it being on here. It would be really cool to see. Finn and Jake versus Mordecai and Rigby. This is a matchup, of course, that I've seen go around for like a really long time. You know, it's this classic rivalry, Adventure Time versus regular show. I wouldn't mind seeing this. This is something that we've actually considered doing on Crossover X as a battle royale at some point. Never got off the ground, but you know, it'd be really cool to see it as a death battle. So you know, wouldn't mind seeing that either. Bill versus Discord, I will talk about in just a moment, but let's move on to the 3D matchups. So over here, we have first and foremost, Cole McGrath versus Alex Mercer. You know, I actually have like a strong connection to Infamous. My sister and I used to play this game a lot on our cousin's PS3 way back in the day. So I know who Cole is. Alex Mercer, I know who he is, but I've never played Prototype. But still, I know this is like a very popular match just over the years, and even more so as recently with the inception of the Champions Bowl. I know a lot of people want this one. This is probably one of my strongest considerations for the 3D side of things, so I might vote for that. But we'll see. Kratos versus Astra. God of War versus Astra's ref. So Astra is a character that's in general it's just been long overdue. There's been plenty of opportunities I feel to bring him in, but you know it's just never happened. And Kratos, it's, you know, just like with Captain America, like you know he's a character that's long overdue for a return, especially with his recent games having like changed the scope of his character, and you know now there's just much more updated information, and you know we get to see Kratos in a 3D fight, so I think it'll be really cool. I think this is the match to bring both these characters in for, so you know it'll be really good to see. Steve versus Emmett, definitely like you know this is the I guess the comedic fight, if you will, of the 3D list. But I definitely wouldn't mind seeing this. I love the Lego Movie. It's a really good movie. You know, sequel just as well. I haven't played Minecraft before, but I know Minecraft is just a fine enough game. You know, it's one of the most popular games in the world, so this is just like, you know, pretty easy matchup. King Ghidorah versus Deathwing. Definitely a more unique matchup when it comes to like kaiju fights. You know, we have another World of Warcraft, you know, presence on the show. Just as likewise, we have Illidan versus Zhao, I think. Again, I don't play World of Warcraft, so I don't know how to pronounce, but you know, WoW versus Genshin Impact. So, you know, I don't mind either of these two matches. You know, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, this obviously it's on here, so there's a audience for like people wanting these matchups. So, for sure, yeah. You know, well, I like King Ghidorah, so yeah, but either of these will be really good. And then, of course, we have Spy versus Agent 47, TF2 versus Hitman. You know, Agent 47, I've been wanting to see it for a long time. I wouldn't mind him fighting Spy. Granted, I know a friend of mine wants Gogo 13 to fight him, so you know, there is that. But either which way, though, you know, pretty decent 3D lineup on here. I would say that in terms of the ones I resonate with the most is probably the top three, interestingly enough. You know, I don't really have any strong connections to the bottom three, but again, this is something that I just wouldn't mind really seeing with a strong, like, you know, emphasis on these top three for me. So let's go back to Bill versus Discord, as I was gonna talk about it momentarily. So yeah, you know, it's another My Little Pony matchup on here. As everyone knows, like, I'm a huge fan of My Little Pony, you know, surprise, surprise, if you've been following me for a while. And I'm also, like, very familiar with the franchise from a versus sense in general. I know how strong Discord is, or at least how strong he should be. and I've seen many arguments go around for Bill. I've seen Gravity Falls before, just full disclosure, so like I'm pretty familiar with both characters. This is probably the matchup I'm not gonna vote for. At least I don't think I'll vote for it. I've been pretty outspoken before in the past. I don't think that the My Little Pony episodes on Death Battle have particularly been the best representation of the characters. I take personal issues with how they've researched and presented the characters and things that they said about the series in general before. I know a lot of people want this one because, like, oh, but Discord isn't a pony. But, like, I hate to break it to you guys, but, like, his head is officially, like, the head of a pony. It's been said on the show before. Either which way, though. Yeah, undoubtedly, like, there's a lot of creativity to come out of it. It would be, like, a really cool matchup. Like, and I guess I should say, full disclosure, I really do like Bill versus Discord on a conceptual level. I just don't know about Death Battle themselves doing it. It's actually something I've been wanting to do on VR for the longest time, but like, obviously like show's been on hiatus, so it's something that we could just never get around to. And with something like this, it requires like a huge amount of budget with the amount of things these characters can do. Like, but I know my friend DJ, he said that like if this matchup should happen, he'd probably be the one to look into Discord. And I trust him. It's sad because I won't be able to like just be around to like help him out with research and all that, but I do trust that he'll look into as much media as possible when it comes to the character should this matchup be the one that comes out on top. Again, this is something I would like to see just put into the right hands. It'd be extra cool if he like wrote the episode as well. Again, just as long as like this matchup just represents the characters completely well, and it just like it's tasteful, like it doesn't like treat the characters or franchises they're from like just inappropriately, I guess. This is unscripted, I'm stumbling to find the right words, but but if this ends up winning, it is what it is. Like, and like I said the other day, I'll still like try to put out some sort of like video or blog or whatever the sort to kind of go into detail about like what Discord's powers are like, because evidently there are still some people out there that don't really know Discord's full capabilities, and I would like to idealistically have something out there that describes Discord's powers and full potential in more detail, preferably before the episode comes out. This is something that I can probably like, at least I would prefer for this episode to be a finale, if not close to a finale, if only because of how much media there is to look into for Discord. With Bill, it's pretty obvious. You have like the show, you have the journals and some Alex Hirsch statements and all that. Discord, on the other hand, is the equivalent of a 1,000 piece puzzle. There is so much Generation 4 media to go through in terms of like the show, comics, trading cards, manga, novels, spin-offs, shorts, like so much things. So that is just like my main concern, just making sure that as much research goes into this as possible. But yeah, in general, like just to conclude this, I really like all the picks that are on here. These are like the matches that like people really want, so fair enough. Honestly, again, like I guess I'll decide like who I want to vote for like in due time pretty soon. But these are really good. I would like to see just like all of these at some point. This, of course, in the best of hands. But like just all of these are just really good picks that I wouldn't mind seeing in the future. So for whatever you guys want to vote for, you do you. I can't wait to see the results when they come out later this month. And I guess I'm looking forward to like whatever is in store for like the next season of Death Battle. I've been really impressed with what we've been getting this past season, and I'm really proud of the team as someone who's just like been a fan of the show for many years, for a really long time. So yeah, so for doing all these matchups and for the future seasons, like I wish the best of luck to the team over at Death Battle and Rooster Teeth in general. These have been my thoughts again. Let me know what you guys think. So yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys.